Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.
Hello and welcome to the expert interview series Beyond the Resume. Today we are delighted to host Dr. Ravneet Singh Bhandari for an insightful interview. With his extensive academic background and professional experience, he brings a wealth of knowledge in the field of marketing, business administration and digital marketing. Dr. Singh holds a PhD in marketing from Amity University, a master's degree in international business and various certifications including business analyst and Google AdWords certification. Currently, Dr. Bhandari is serving as the program leader for undergraduate and postgraduate at Amity University, Noida, where he has been leading academic programs since August 2023. His journey in academia spans several years, having also contributed as a faculty member at prestigious institutions such as Amity University and Chandigarh University. Welcome to the Expert Interview Series, sir, and hope our viewers get to learn from your experiences.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, Pooja, and looking forward for a great discussion.
Sure. So the first and the most important question that comes to all of our minds, what was your inspiration to pursue a career in academia and business management?
That's a very interesting and a very valid question, I would say, to start the interview. What made me to get into academia? When I was a student, when I was looking out for the career opportunities and I was looking out where to make my career, one thing I realized or introspected that point of time that only one field or only one profession in which you teach also as well as you are learning also. You're a academician and you're a teacher. You are keep on upgrading yourself, and with the problems with the students share their academic problems. This gives you an ideas. This also gives you what more you can learn, as well as it helps you to stay updated with respect to the subject knowledge. That is the most important and the most valid reason I believe that encourage people to get into academia.
You've always been a learner and you wanted to learn throughout your life.
Yes, that I can say that could be the prime reason for me to get into academics. That it gives an opportunity to keep on learning, upgrading yourself.
And plus, you have to have that kind of dedication because, of course, doing bachelor's and master's is pretty easy. But continuing to do your PhD is like it requires
Yes,
a lot of courage and determination.
the journey of PhD is like a fight with yourself.
Right.
Yes, it's like holding a topic for 5 years. Sometimes it takes even more than 5 years.
Wonderful journey. Thanks a lot, sir. I think people who restrain themselves from pursuing PhD, they'll be more motivated to get into this line of work.
That is, as a teacher, my objective and my agenda is always need to inspire my students to excel in studies. The more you'll excel in studies, money would go after you.
And being a teacher is the most difficult job because you are the role model for them. They look up to you. So you have to be
Absolutely.
perfect all the time.
Absolutely, and it gives you a huge pressure, I would say.
Correct.
And as a teacher, you always need to be in a formal environment. You cannot go beyond the required capacities as a teacher.
Can't misstep. That's what the
Ye-
whole
Yes,
concept is.
but when you get into this field, you cherish this.
Of course, there's a lot of respect coming from a teaching background in my family. I know that teachers are the most respected profession.
True, very true. Teachers, teachers are the nation builders.
They are, of course. There are
So
CAs, there are civil engineers, scientists are all there. But the whole effort that goes behind in building that career
absolutely,
is
that
only
that
teachers.
that's what teaching is all about. And no one would be happy seeing your success except your parents, except your family. But it is your teacher who would be happy to see your success.
Moving on to the next question. How has your experience in digital marketing, of course, you've been in that domain, how has it shaped your approach to teaching business students?
Digital marketing, if you see from past 10 years, the trend have been changed. Everything now you are doing digitally. Even in understanding the concepts of education with respect to management, has to be digitified. Let's take example of e-commerce industry. In past 10-15 years, we started with buying products online via websites. Now we have shifted to m-commerce, from e-commerce to m-commerce, from m-commerce to AI-driven m-commerce. So in teaching also, with respect to these tools need to be taught to the student with practical exposure. This is my belief, and this is I try to implement in my classes also. That as much as practical implication of this digital transformation need to be taught to the student. And as a teacher, we also need to upgrade ourselves
Only if you
because
are aware about the concept, only then they learn.
absolutely. And in this, with this disruptive technology, we called the technology is disrupting the traditional forms. And with this disruptive technology, you as academician, you have to upgrade yourself. Algorithms are changing every second. So this thought process needs to be transferred to the student also. That even if you go in any academics, or if you go to any field, digitalization, digital transformation is the key to the success. You have to upgrade yourself with respect to the digital upgradation that is going around. And with respect to our teaching, we are also getting more and more practical approaches to our subjects. So I try to keep as practical as my subject possible. I try to give them live projects.
It's all about the practical application that is important because, of course, AI is changing the world.
And we cannot predict how after 5 years this industry would turn around. Because in mobile phones, we have the iPhone movement that changed the mobile phone industry. And in AI, we had a AI movement now. How this industry is going to change the entire dynamics of other industries. You see, mobile industry has changed the dynamics of all the other industries. Camera is replaced. Your music players are replaced. Everything is being replaced with your mobile phone. Everything is there in your mobile phone. So when AI also, it is going to create massive changes. How, where it is going to take us, that is still a question mark.
Do you think AI is impacting the job market as well?
Nothing can impact the job market unless and until you are skilled enough. Let's take example how people used to manufacture products earlier. They used to manufacture via hands. Then machine came. People get updated, skilled with machines. Take apply that concept here also. In AI is acting as a helping hand. It is not going to replace you. But how well you are learning that helping hand, that is up to that is you need to introspect.
So rather than the skill replacing you, it's better to learn it and be complacent with
Actually,
it.
I think that people should treat AI as a friend rather than an enemy, because this perception has been built up that AI is enemy, and it is going to replace you. It is going to replace you. No, it is not going to replace you. It is going to enhance you.
Right. So, of course, you're dealing with so many students day in and day out. In your opinion, what are the key skills that students need to thrive in today's business world?
Current scenario, I can only talk about with reference to coming up 10-15 years. After 10-15 years, how technology is going to change, we cannot comment. Considering the current scenario, the key skill that is being required for the student is how to play with the data, and which include data science, which includes data analytics, which includes business analytics, which includes using AI tools for data analytics, how to understand data, because it is being said that data is the new crude oil.
That is the focus should be that if you have a lot of data at hand, you should know how to data crunch it and analyze and give results.
Absolutely. You consider our daily lives. For our daily lives, we are using these apps. What these apps are recording? These are recording my behavior. So if I, as a marketer, doesn't know how to understand the behavior of my consumer, how to fetch that data, how to use it well, I'm not never going to make a successful campaign for my brand.
So, how do you see the role of traditional business education, evolving in the age of AI, as we talked about, and the digital transformation that is happening?
The sad story is that still we are into that form of traditional teaching only. The book which I read as a student, I am still making my student also read that book. In terms of marketing, the models, the theories we are teaching, the models, the theories which I learned 15 years back, 10 years back, still I am forced to teach those models and theories to my students. Traditionally, I'm saying majority of education institutes still follow that same curriculum that has been followed 15 years, 20 years back. The issue, the problem with our education system is we are not upgrading and not teaching our students the practical implications of the technology. I'm a teacher of a subject called marketing. So how marketing analytics is involved? What are the various domains of data science in marketing? Still, these things are not being included in the curriculum of majority of our educational institutes. We are still lacking there. So my urge, my request to the authorities with this interview is that we should include the more practical implications of the subject. Student know consumer behavior is there since 15 years, 20 years. Behavior is there, but now we don't require consumer behavior with those traditional forms. We need to learn consumer behavior analytics rather than. There was one article by Economic Times which said that 90% of Indian graduates are not suitable or capable enough for a job. Why? The question is that we still teach them the theoretical things, which is of no good use when it comes to a corporate job. Corporate job require practical skills, and if those practical skills are being implemented from the primary education, I would say, not from the higher education. Start the technical skills, technical subjects from the primary education. Let them learn the basics from when their brains were developing.
You suggest how should they, of course, this change is going to take time, but how should they go about enhancing their skill set?
Make a framework, make a structure. The easiest way, I'll tell you, one of my students did this and he grabbed a massive package in Google. What he did, he wanted to get a specific job. So before journey, he lined out that this job I want to get and what are the job specification, key skill set, softwares I need to require to get into this job. So he learned, polished himself for 3 years for those softwares. So you have to decide your journey, self-discipline that need to be required. So he listed out the softwares, he learned the software. So when he went for the interview, his preparation was for 3 years. And others have the preparation for days, months. You cannot beat the preparation for 3 years. You have to be well calculated that this is my destiny and this is my job and I want to learn these things for this job. That is the problem. We don't have the structured planning, strategic planning with us. As a student, plan your careers. You can never blame your parents, you can never blame your peer groups for your fall in the career. If you plan your strategize your career well, it you would do wonders.
Of course, you are dealing with students day in, day out. What is that one common mistake that you see in students making when they're first entering the business world?
Massive mistake, I still stick to that we are lacking in strategic planning as a student. Uh, Other mistakes which we are doing it, we are not optimally utilizing the resources that are available to us. All these an academy, for example, is an institute that's offering you free content, free learning content on YouTube. But number of views as compared to the number of views on a cringy video on YouTube, there's a massive difference. You have to decide where you want to take your career. Self-discipline and optimum utilization of available resources that can lead to a wonderful career.
I think that's crisp and concise. 2 pointers, and that is how you're going to reach your destination. So, of course, you have worked with, in both teaching and program leadership roles. How do you think the student experience has changed over the years? You know,
That's very wonderful question. You know what? Now, as a teacher, I study more than my students because I am facing students who are access to internet. Just few days back, one thing happened. I was teaching a concept called Google Trends to my student. One student on their laptop, they open Google Trends and they start implementing and starting asking me questions. So as a teacher, you need to be well ahead of your student, because this generation is an internet generation. They have access to all the resources. So as they teach, their experience in terms of upgradation to the knowledge, their access to the information is easy now. And their experience is changing in terms of how well you're using that medium to access the information. You have 3 hours. You can utilize that 3 hours watching a Netflix series, or you can utilize that 3 hours to learn a software. You have to decide. As a student, you have to decide. So students sometimes have that concern. We cannot concentrate on our studies. It is you who is not able to do that. You are responsible for that. You have the resources. You have everything with you. Look at our ancestors. They never had these kind of opportunities with them. For example, if my grandfather wants to learn something, he has to go to a library, search n number of books. But I have that facility to me. I Google, and within a nanosecond, I get the information. Path is being very easy to me now.
But the research that used to go earlier, with when we didn't had this kind of one-click access to content, that research has gone. Now they have the answer in hand. Their minds are not actually exploring. Do you think that's some problem?
Yes, that is a very big problem. With this ease of access to the information and to the technology, we are now become lazy. We don't put up hardships now. We always look out for shortcuts. For example, now if you give an assignment to a student, most of them get them done from the chat GPT. That is a harsh reality. But chat GPT is your helping hand. It's not your replaced hand. If you take it as a helping hand, it would help you to learn better. But what we are doing is we are looking out for the shortcut. That is the biggest problem in current genre of students. It is the self journey. If you want to be successful, if you want to have a fruitful career, take it as a selfish motive. If you have a fruitful career, you are going to have the benefits out of it. If you have a successful career, if you own a Ferrari or a Rolls Royce, you are going to reap the benefits out of it. If you are being distracted with this shortcomings, you are taking away from the long run achievements of your life. And I believe in one quote that if you enjoy now, you're going to suffer later, and if you believe you're suffering now, you would be enjoying later.
We've covered, a long list of queries that we had, but still, what skills or knowledge do you think is most crucial for students in today's business landscape, especially for, international markets?
Okay, I'll be very specific. I would give you pointers on that.
Okay.
First is data science.
Okay.
Second is AI tools. Third is cross-culture management. We are living in a world of globalization. Everyone is connected with each other by internet. So every country, every region have their different cultures. If you want to be I would say a leader, a global leader, you have to be well aware about the different cultures, give time, understand cultures, and then nourish yourself in terms of your leadership, in terms of your technology, as well as with cross culture. You also need to understand the regulatory mechanism of every region. With decision science, with AI tools, please get yourself well versed with the legal aspects. What is legal in India might not be legal in Europe. What is legal in Europe might not be legal in United States of America. Every country has their different rules and regulations.
And it was, of course, a wonderful quote that you quoted. I think that is going to impact and help learn more, and to be more insightful on your own journey of learning.
My pleasure, my pleasure. I hope I'm able to add value to your viewers with this interview, and I hope we are able to at least little bit motivate them.
Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to never miss a video from us.